Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. I just wanted to kind of give you an update of today, a recap, but actually make a plea before I talk about today, last night, and the plans for tonight, because tonight I might just be Jim, not Jim walking the PTT journey. Anyway, so here's a couple of pleas for you guys if you can. Now, the second one's more important than the first one, but the first one I'll take advantage of asking. So, the guys that helped me out with my website, and actually I think it was my idea, we decided to try to do a football pick'em that I think is on the top part of our web page or the top part of our Facebook page. But I think thus far only 4 people have showed up, so signed up, including even myself has not yet, but I will this weekend. But anyway, if you really appreciate the word I'm spreading and sharing, it might be a good way to get some people involved. Certainly I want to get, I'd like all 1,300 of us to be in there, have a competition, talk some smack. I will win, by the way, but maybe, everybody below me, second and third, will get a free shirt or something like that. But if you sign up for the football pick'em, I'll give you something that, even if you don't know anything about football, you don't have to. And I'll give you something to do, and we can talk some smack about it on our site. And as I said, we can do that, and it might be a great way for folks to bring people in that don't know about Point to Thumb Journey and to help spread the word. So if you guys can make it part of your a favor to me, a mission to the journey, if you believe in what I'm doing, and a lot of you do, maybe that's a way to get people in on kind of a soft sell. Secondly, something you guys could all do for me, because we've got 1,300 followers or people like it. I don't know how that works, but Facebook is one thing, YouTube is another thing. And some people only follow each way. But if all of you that are on, I don't know how many subscribers I got to YouTube, all you need is an email address. If you go into www.youtube.com and search Point to Thumb Journey, all my videos, that's where they go first. And from there, they get uploaded to the Facebook. But it's also for those of you that are new and don't know anything about me, I started doing videos way back to June, even before we had stories to tell. And that's why I was trying to let people get to know who I am, why I think what I do. Some of them were serious topics, some of them were just goofy topics, some of them were shout outs or recognitions of some great people that impacted my life. And I think they might be pretty good. People have liked them. So to those that don't know, go to YouTube. But all of you, if you can, go on to YouTube, www.youtube.com, search me, but then subscribe. All you need to do is put in your email address. And then I get a list of subscribers, and I guess it'll help me with any kind of possibly getting the book published and things like that, and them publishing a lot quicker, I assume. So there's my second favor of you guys, and that's again not the biggest one. Those are small. My third one is just me griping a little bit. So I arranged for a lot of things before I left, and I keep getting people coming from home and telling me, Jim, something's got to be taken care of, whether it be the lawn or a bill. And I'm getting frustrated because, and I know nobody means any ill will about it, but guys, I can't do it if you don't tell me about it. I don't have somebody that has a life of their own willing to come mow my lawn for me, and then just drop everything because I was told early on, well, the grass went dormant, you don't have to mow it for this week. So I told someone, hold on tight until I reach out to them, and then nobody calls me. Again, if bills are out there, I get e-bills, but I don't always get the paper bills. So if there's something going on, don't tell me a day before, electric or cable or something's gonna get shut off. Send me the dang bill, guys. And those are the few people that have what I'm talking about. But I do appreciate what you're doing as well. I don't mean to seem ingracious anyway. I appreciate you taking care of the house and the kids and the dog and the snake and all the crazy stuff. Now for my other ask, and this is a relatively important one. So I believe her name is Leslie McSpadden. She's the mother of Michael Brown. Michael Brown was a gentleman that was killed by St. Louis police a couple of years ago, and his death resulted in a lot of things, a lot of riots, a lot of upheaval. It inspired Miss McSpadden to write a book, and inspired her, I just found out in the last day or two, that she inspired her to run for city council, and I assume that's in St. Louis. And I am terrible with technology. She's got, but I believe she's got websites for her foundation, for herself. Anyway, I'm going to be in St. Louis, outside of St. Louis tomorrow, and I'll be in St. Louis Monday and leave in St. Louis Tuesday. If there's anybody at all that could find a way to link up my site, to talk to her, I would love, just the way they said we did the live feeds yesterday, to give her a platform. I'd love to ask her some questions and give her a platform to share whatever her thoughts and feelings are. I mean, certainly it's a terrible, terrible thing to lose a child. Um, there's no two ways about that. I can't even begin to explain what that must be like. And I'd like to, talk to her about many things, or more. Let me rephrase that. I'd really like to listen to her. I'd like to hear from her about many things. So if anybody knows a way to reach out to her, as I'm heading to St. Louis, if you know somebody in St. Louis, somebody that has some influence with media, that just might know how to get a hold of her. I tried a couple things, but I'm helpless with this post. Every time I try to post a Facebook thing, what I think is to their site, it goes to my site. So I don't know anything. So that would be a big, big ask of the family here. So that's a big, big ask. Now, let me tell you a little bit about today and tonight. And so last night I was in Woodstock, Illinois. Great, great town. Jamie, my ex, one of the people that, kind of changed a little bit who I was, prompted me to go on this journey. But with the same time has started to point the thumb, I think, in a big way. As one of the family that volunteered, the PTT family, Point the Thumb family, that volunteered to come out to Chicago and drive me to St. Louis. So, how great for me to see a familiar face, and certainly somebody I care about, right? And it's been great catching up a little bit about her progress in dealing with some of the things that she's been dealing with in a very non-finger pointing manner, and that's new, quite honestly. So that's kind of been a neat thing. Anyway, but Jamie drove through the night last night. Apparently got out of a speeding ticket because she told the police officer she was coming to visit me and help me, and I'm walking across the country, and gave him one of my cards. I don't know if he's listening. If he is, thank you for hooking up one of our family members. But she drove through the night and made it into Chicago about 10 minutes before I did this morning. To those of you that don't know, and I was kind of a little bit cryptic about this this morning, I had plans last night where I had a possible place to stay, and that kind of fell through a little bit later, and then another gentleman really extended himself. But the truth of the matter is, it was a beautiful night. I knew that I was only going to be sleeping a few hours, so I had to catch a train very, very early. So the truth is, I didn't sleep inside a home last night. I slept outside in Woodstock, Illinois. I'm not going to tell you where, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I mean, I was out in a public place, sort of. I wasn't, in anyone's home or anyone's personal property, so I wasn't lurking or anything like that. But suffice it to say, I slept outside, but you'll have to wait for the book to come out to get more details on that. But then I knew I had to catch an early morning train. If I went and slept with somebody, by the time they got me comfortable at the home and I showered and they talked to me for a while, how do I tell somebody, hey, I'm going to be getting up in 5 hours and, I need to walk 10 miles and could you give me a ride, So I try not to put people out when I do this journey, believe it or not. I try not to be intrusive. And I felt like last night, even though some very generous offers were there, because when I was leaving for the train, that I might have been being pretty intrusive, and I didn't want to do that. So, but the point is, I didn't sleep very, very well. So between Jamie driving through the night and me not sleeping so well, we went into Chicago. We met in Chicago. We drove around. It's beautiful. Really, I hate to say this to, my brother always said it was his favorite city, and I can see why. It is a crazy nice city. I love Lakeshore Drive, and I love what they do. It's just different, and I expected it to be like what I've been in New York many times, what New York is, and it's not at all. It's similar in a lot of ways, but it's not at the same time. So that was really neat. And we drove up to Wrigley. I'm wearing a Wrigley Field shirt right now. Somebody was gracious enough to get me this so I can kind of just be Jim tonight. And we were thinking, and of course we were both kind of tired and needed a place. So instead of trying to do this double whammy kind of, hey, can you put us up for a night and spend the whole day, I said, look, you know what? I've been to a really cool town not too far from here, less than an hour drive. Why don't we go back to Hobart? Let's take a walk around the lake and just let me share with you with somebody that knows me, some of the town and the people that I've gotten to know and love on this journey. So, and of course, a hotel room outside of Chicago would be a whole lot cheaper than a hotel anywhere near Chicago. So we did. We came back and got a hotel, I think, in Merrillville, right on the border by the South Lake Mall. And we both kind of passed out for a few hours this afternoon, which was needed. I know I needed it. I can speak for me. And we're now going to head on over into Hobart and going to hang out down by the lake. Jim, one of the most instrumental people in his journey and most supportive, he walks the lake for a couple of hours morning and night with his dog Misha. He does a couple of hour walk. So I texted him, and it'd be nice to introduce him because he's been so instrumental in making all this happen. The lake is beautiful. If you see a tall guy in a tank top, stop and say hi. It's still me. I'll still have my little cards with me. I'm just going to have the bright, ugly yellow-green shirt for the first time in 5 weeks that I'm not wearing that. That's going to be a little bit of a culture change for me. After that, we might go and stop on Main Street, don't know where, and maybe get a little something to eat and maybe even have a beer or something. And then, again, I couldn't go to Hobart without introducing Jamie to just one of the coolest characters I've ever met. You know, Papa Joe and his wife Cindy, and I'll just say the posse, the whole group of people that congregate at Papa Joe's. So we'll head over there for a little while and just get to say hi to some folks and introduce Jamie to the crew that put me up one night and hung out with me another day and met me at a convenience store parking lot. And then we'll be back tonight and be able to, I got to do some wash tomorrow. I got to go to Walmart and pick up some things, or some kind of convenience store, pick up some little odds and ends, and then, we'll be off of St. Louis on a nice, no rush kind of drive. I would like to see some parts of Indiana, Illinois along the way. So, all right, so that's kind of why I've been not really posting a lot today. I've actually been napping most of this afternoon. So guys, please, I'm asking as a personal favor to me. Sign up, find out how to sign up for that football website. I'll be doing it by this weekend. And don't just sign yourself, sign your whole damn